Hello Internet, my name's Colson and I am deaf. No, this wasn't a lifetime choice. I was just born this way. I'm here, I'm deaf, get over it. I'm starting a new series called The Hearing Aid Chronicles, or as I like to call it for short, THC. So in this series I'll be discussing different issues and topics relating to my life and experiences wearing hearing aids and just being a member of the deaf community. Let me just point out, I'm not really that involved in the deaf community, but I figured this video series would be a nice introduction into said community. And for the convenience of my people, these videos will be subtitled. Side note, someone a while ago suggested I make a video without wearing hearing aids, so why not try it now? Alright, let's get started. The root cause of hearing loss typically lies in the vestibulocochlear nerve, the inner ear, and the processing center of the brain. My hearing loss is derived from the vestibulocochlear nerve, as it was never fully formed in my mother's womb. Vestibulocochlear nerve is a cranial nerve. It is responsible for transmitting sound information from the inner ear to the processing center of the brain. My vestibulocochlear nerve does not fully transmit all that sound information gathered by these ears alone. I'm very functional compared to other people with my type of hearing loss. I'm pretty good at reading lips if I do say so myself. If I don't have my hearing aids in, but someone's right in front of me speaking and I can see their lips, then yeah, I can pretty much understand speech for the most part. Regular people still mumble and they still slur their words, and it's incredibly frustrating. I'm trying to understand them, but they aren't helping. I find that sometimes it's almost impossible to read lips because some people have such a strange way of talking. I'll be the first to admit, because I read lips, I develop a bad habit of staring people's mouths when they talk. I'll notice your teeth, I'll notice your mouth if you talk on the side of your mouth, I'll notice your tongue if you have a lisp and your tongue does that weird thing on the bottom of your teeth that makes you have a lisp. I'm sorry if I can't help but notice your face. I hope I'm not being rude or anything. I have about 66% of my hearing, and these hearing aids give me the remaining 34%. If I don't have my hearing aids in, I can hear noise. Well, sort of. They're just very dull and non-distinct. Sharper sounds with higher pitches are easier to hear as opposed to dull sounds with low pitches. Where are my pitches at? If I take my hearing aids out and I listen to my iPod, I can still hear it, just it has to be turned up to a loud volume. All my life, people on trains, buses, and other forms of transportation did not like that I listen to my iPod at a loud volume, but I'm just a boy with a disability, so they can't really say anything at all. My hearing aids are taken out when I go to bed, when I go to the pool, when I take a shower. This right here, my hearing aid, is a volume switch. If something's too loud, I can turn the volume down, which is rare, but most of the time what happens is something is quiet, and so I turn the volume up. When I go to concerts, my hearing aids do this amazing thing where they take the loud noises and level them down to a comfortable level, so when regular people leave a concert, they feel like they hear everything underwater. Nope, doesn't happen to me. I'm impervious. It's like a superpower. Maybe a lame superpower, but it's a superpower nevertheless. Another amazing feature about my hearing is they have a Bluetooth function, so instead of like trying to hear out of the speaker and like a noisy situation would be very difficult, I can actually use Bluetooth to connect to the phone, and so it's easier for me to hear when I talk on the telephone. By the way, the brand of my hearing aid is Phonak. Phonak. Right here underneath this protective filter is a pad that keeps out dirt and water and other things. There's two microphones. They're directional, so they go forward, backward, and there's an omnidirectional mic that picks up everything else. With my hearing aid, there's on and off function, so if I want to turn it on, I press right there, I wait 7 seconds, and boom, let there be sound. When I turn it off, I just pull it back like that. This Phonak runs on 13 batteries. You can pretty much buy these batteries at any convenience store. They're really expensive though, they're like $10 to $15, which is too damn high. These size 13 batteries last me about 2 weeks, let's say. So it's pretty good. Oh, if it's turned on, that means it's on its normal setting. The directional channels of the microphone, they go forward, they go back, and it's omnidirectional. So if I press it once, instead of hearing an omnidirectional microphone, I just hear the forward and backwards channel. It helps in some situations where you just don't want to hear everything, you just want to hear what's behind you and what's in front of you, like in a restaurant. Press this button twice and it performs the Bluetooth function that allows me to connect to my telephone. Press it 3 times, it's on the mute option. Press this 4 times and it's back to normal mode. Like I may have said before, these directional microphones give me the advantage to hear in noisy situations like the mall. I work in a mall, in the hallway of a mall, in a kiosk, and it can get very loud. My typical problems in day-to-day life aren't that I can't hear, just that I don't know how loud to speak. Either I speak too loudly or too softly. I don't know how loud things actually are, so when I talk, I don't know if I'm speaking too loudly or too quietly. When speaking, it's hard to find like a middle ground where I don't speak too loudly or too softly, and it doesn't help to have a very low and manly testosterone-filled voice. Low voice, big wavelengths, hard to hear in noisy situations. But it's better to be loud and heard than not heard at all. Now the hearing aids are coming back in. Wow, this is loud. I am not used to this. I've gone the whole video without going to the hearing aids. It's a bit of a shock. Anyway, these hearing aids are very cool and they can do a lot, but they come at a price. Hearing aids are very expensive and very fragile. I'm pretty sure these pair cost $3,000. I don't let anyone touch them. Ever. Listen to me as I say this. If we ever meet in real life, please be respectful and don't touch them. I'm asking you nicely. Some people have messaged me before and saying as a joke that if they ever met me, they come up to me and flick me in the ear. That's fine if you want to do that, but I'm just gonna have to open up a can of whoop ass, and that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so! Wrestling jokes aside, I understand they're joking when they say that statement about flicking me in the ears, but my hearing aids are no laughing matter. I depend on these for my day-to-day life. So seriously, do not touch my hearing aids without my permission. Capiche? Capiche. And that, my friend, has been the first episode of the Hearing Aid Chronicles. I'm really interested in developing dialogue between you and me, so feel free to leave a comment or a question down below. I'll definitely answer in the future. Oh, will you look at the time? THC time is over. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Colson Peacock, and I'll see you next time.